Hello, snakes. My name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesdays, and I'm going to be reviewing the top 10 best cards that are basically kings or queens, just what it says in their name, or sovereigns. Yeah, that's basically the theme of the podcast for this week. And yeah, so there's 10 cards with a bonus card and a meme right at the end as well. And of course, we got the combo of the week. We'll never forget about the combo of the week. There is always one combo. So let's just head into the combo of the week. And it is Summoning Station, Micus and Flatus, and Blasting Station. So how this combo works is that, so basically you got Micus and Flatus, Summoning Station, and Blasting Station. So you tap Summoning Station to put in a 2/2 Pincher. You use Blasting Station to sacrifice, so Blasting Station untaps. Sacrifice the Pincher to deal 1 damage to anything. That untaps the Summoning Station because an artifact has died. Tap, create a 2/2 Pincher. That untaps Blasting Station because Micus and Flatus turns everything into an artifact. Because Pincher is usually not an artifact, and then it gets turned into an artifact because of Micus and Flatus. So yeah, that's basically the combo of the week. And it can be used in any deck because of it being a colorless combo. So yeah, let's just go into our number 10, and it is Hornet Queen. 7 mana 2/2 insect flying death touch when entered battlefield. Create 4 1/1 insects with flying and death touch. Well, I did count Hornet Queen because, even though Hornet Queen really is just a queen of the colony, still counts as a queen. So that's why I just decided to put Hornet Queen in number 10. So yeah, and I've seen this card in many commander decks, many pre-cons and just post-cons, or if that's how you call a commander deck that isn't a pre-con, a player-built commander deck. I think that would be a more standard term than just post-con. I don't know. Yeah, well, that's the number 10 of the podcast, and it's a very good card. It's because basically creates 5 creatures for 7 mana, in which they all fly and have death touch. So they're all very powerful blockers. And yeah, the only thing bad are their stats. Yeah, her stats and tokens stats are also not very good, but the death touch and flying makes it a good card nonetheless. So yeah, and yeah, let's just go into our number 9 card, and it is Coffin Queen. 3 mana 1/1 zombie wizard, which allows you to choose not to untap her during your untap step, and you can tap her and pay 3 mana to bring back any creature from a graveyard and put it under your control. When you untap Coffin Queen or lose control of Coffin Queen, whether she dies, gets removed, or stolen, exile that creature. So yeah, that's basically, and that's the number 9 card because she just reanimates stuff until there's a moment she just dies or she gets untapped. Then you ditch that reanimated card. So then you have to do so then you can actually get more stuff. She's actually a very good card, and also she can work as a tactical exile creature from graveyard card. Yeah, and yeah, just pay attention to the names of the cards, and then you'll realize why they are in the podcast. I mean, so that's the number 9 card of the podcast. Very good card. I don't have a Coffin Queen, but I've never seen someone play it, but I just know that Coffin Queen is a good card because of her ability. It's kind of like those there's lots of cards that allow you to choose not to untap them on your untap step, and that's one of those powerful things. And yeah, that's why I put Coffin Queen in number 9. So let's just go into our number 8 card, and it is the Traitor King, 6 mana, 5/5, legendary zombie warrior, which gives all creatures in your graveyard unearthed 2 in a black. And yeah, you see right at the end of the name, right? So that's number 8, very good one. And because the thing is that there are actually tricks where if you basically if you phase out the creatures, you can if you phase out the unearthed creatures and stuff like that, you can actually keep them. That's why unearth is just a busted mechanic because at the start I was like, unearth? Why is that thing? And I'm like, it didn't seem that good to me until I just noticed that you can actually use stuff that allow you to phase them out, like stuff like there's this card. There's this card which allows you to phase out your creatures that attacked at end of combat. Like if you attack with an unearthed creature, then at end of combat it'll phase out. So then you don't have to worry about exiling it. So when it goes back to your turn, it phases back in, and you keep them forever. And yeah, I just know Cedrus is just a very good commander. So you could use stuff like graveyard strategies and stuff to actually get good stuff with the unearth ability. Just kind of like a Coffin Queen, because Coffin Queen also depends on players' graveyards. This one just depends on your graveyard and what you can self-mill for or stuff like that. You can just put stuff like Corpse Connoisseur to just send one card from your deck into your graveyard. Or you can just use stuff put stuff like a Wold. Oh wait, no, not Woldspine Worm. It shuffles into your library when it hits the graveyard. Something. Oh, Impervious Great Worm. That one. The Great Worm. 16 for indestructible. So yeah, that's actually something you can put into your graveyard. You can go in unearth for Corpse Connoisseur, send, or even Buried Alive. Send stuff like Inkwell Leviathan or Imperious Great Worm. Oh wait, if you put no, not Imperious Great Worm, it's green. Because ideally, Cedrus would be a great commander. So no Imperious Great Worm. Just put stuff just throw in Inkwell Leviathan or some other big blue, black, or red thing. Scourge of the Throne. Yeah, Scourge of the Throne would be a good one. So then you can just unearth them, slap opponents of them. That's actually very good. Yeah, like you can go like, okay, so you just send Inco Leviathan into your graveyard, unearth 7 damage Island Walk to you for free mana, or just stuff like throw in Scourge of the Throne, get a second combat for free mana, like a much better seize the day because it's cheaper if you just put stuff like, or just, I mean, you need, I mean, or just a Murag, I think was called, where basically if you played a land, you'd get an extra combat. I'm not sure what was he called, but if you played a land, you get an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Yeah, that could be good because yeah, you just throw him in and just play all of them. Yeah, it's just like you just it's just a very good commander, honestly. That's why I put him in number 8 king, or just number 8 sovereigns, like kings and queens and sovereigns. Or basically, it's all dependent on the name. That's the thing. So let's just go into the number 7, and it is Brago, King Eternal. Yep, there you saw it. 4 mana, 2/4 legendary Spirit Noble with flying, who deals combat damage to any player. Yeah. Exile, you can blink any number of non-land permanents you control, which is good because you can reuse all of their ETBs, which is because if you play a Brago commander deck, just play blue-white ETB tribal. Just everything that triggers on entering the battlefield or leaving the battlefield or getting exiled. That's a very good thing. That's why Brago is just insanely good. I mean, there are better cards in this. There are better kings and queens in this podcast. So he is only number 7 because I mean I think he may lack colors as a commander. I can tell you, there's probably good ETB stuff in red, black, and green. So the selection of white and blue is not really that good. Oh, only white and blue. I think if they he would have been much better. They would have added green to the cost. Like I don't know, just make him make his mana cost a green, blue, white, or 1 green, blue, white rather than 2 white, blue. That would have been a better mana cost rather than just somehow sneak the color green into his color identity by putting a green activated ability in his tech spots. Like I don't know, just target creature gains trample until end of turn for 1 green. I don't know. They could have somehow sneaked the color green into his text. Then they could have given him a green color identity. Yeah. I mean, that's why I think if he had those colors, he would have been if he had more colors, he would have been a better commander and a better card in this podcast. But since he's only 2 colors, I'm only putting him in number 7. Let's go into number 6. And it is Savra, Queen of the Golgari. 4 mana, 2/2 legendary elf shaman. Whenever you sacrifice a black creature, you may pay 2 life to make each of a player sacrifice a creature. but whenever you sacrifice a green creature, you may gain 2 life. That's a very good thing because when you sacrifice a green and black creature, you can choose to gain 2 life or force everyone else to sacrifice a creature without paying life. That's why Savra is just a very good card. Like put with sack outlets and the sacrifice tribal deck or stuff like that, then you can just gain life off sacrificing green creatures, and then spending that life to make up opponent's sacrifice creatures. That I saw Savra I saw some people play Savra and Commander as a commander in a few Commander games I've played. So I mean, she's not that bad. I mean, she is actually very. In fact, she's very good. That's why she's number 6. In fact, better than Bravo because Savra doesn't need any more colors. She already has the 2 colors needed that sacrifice a lot. Black and green, yeah. And Savra is a very, very powerful commander as well. Like if you pair her with stuff like Altar of Dementia, Phyrexian Altar, Ashnod's Altar, or stuff like Nantuko Husk. Trying to name more sack outlets. Viscera Seer, that's one very nice sack outlet as well. So that's why, and yeah. And these are just all things you put into your Savra deck. Then you just have to put in just a few sacrificed stuff. You can just put Devourers and Sacrificers, and then you put as well a lot of sacrificed, like stuff that create tokens. Like Mikolov would be a very good card in the deck because Mikolov allows you to devour 2, which means you can devour anything, any number of creatures that enters battlefield, and then enters with twice that many +1/+1 counters on it, which means basically and then creates saplings depending on how many +1/+1 counters he has. So not only is he a devourer, he is also one who can create sacrificed things. Just sacrifices and devours. That's good. Or so then you can actually. I mean, the tokens are green, which means they'll gain you life, which means like you'll effectively be gaining quadruple the number of +1/+1 counters on it. No, twice the number of +1/+1 counters on it, which is basically quadruple the amount of creatures you've sacrificed for Mikolov every turn. So yeah. So that's why I put Savra in the number 6. So let's just go into the number 5, and it is Queen Marchesa. 4 mana, 3/3 legendary human assassin with Death Touch haste. As she enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent is the monarch, create a 1/1 assassin with Death Touch and haste. She's just a very good commander. If you pair her with voting and monarch stuff like Will of the Council, Council of the Lemna, and stuff that allow you to become the monarch and stuff like that. So then you can actually draw cards, and then if you're not the monarch, you can strike back at them with cards with tokens you're creating. That's why Queen Marchesa is number 5 in this podcast. Very good card. And in fact, I actually have a Queen Marchesa commander deck. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really use a Queen Marchesa commander deck much. It's mainly my dad who uses it much. I generally just use upper commander decks, but I mean, I did design a Queen Marchesa deck, but yeah, Queen Marchesa is a very good card nonetheless. So let's just go into the number 4 in this podcast, and it is Corvold, Faker's King. Yeah, you heard it right at the end. Oh, and so it's a 5 mana 4/4 legendary dragon noble with flying. When he enters the battlefield or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put some counter in Corvold and draw a card. You remember Savra, number 6 card in this podcast? Well, she can actually not only can she be used in a commander as a commander, she can also go inside the Corvold deck. So, uh, because she's good when you're sacrificing stuff. So Corvold's actually good uh, with stuff like and basically when you sacrifice the permanent to put +1/+1 counter in Corvold and draw a card, you can just uh, put stuff like Mayhem Devil or I don't know stuff that uh, trigger stuff whenever you sacrifice creatures or permanents. So then and then stuff that allow you to sacrifice was stuff that you need to sacrifice. Like oh, I forgot to mention Wolf Strider that creates a goat upon entering the battlefield and allows you to sacrifice creatures to scribe, just like Viscera Seer, but it's a 2-in-1. So, anyways, Corvold is a oh, and good thing is he also has flying and keeps on growing as you sacrifice more stuff, like and draws you extra cards which allow you to bring in more stuff. So then you can sacrifice more stuff. So you can actually deal a lot of commander damage in multiplayer games with Corvold as your commander because he'll grow. So if you just sacrifice 17 things with him as your commander, then you can insta-kill someone. And that is a very one big hit. That's why Corvold not. I mean, he's not very good in commander if you use him in the deck, but if you use him as a commander, he's very good. So that's why I put Corvold as the number 4 in this podcast. So let's just go into the number 3, and it is Reaper King. Yep. 2 white, 2 blue, 2 red, 2 red, 2 black, or 2 green. Basically, so basically the 2 can be replaced by a white. Yeah, you understand what I mean. 6/6 legendary artifact creature Scarecrow. Your other Scarecrows get +1/+1, and whenever another Scarecrow enters the battlefield under your control, destroy anything. Yeah, that's just so good because, I mean, he has color flexibility, so you can actually play 5-color Scarecrows as if you use him as a commander. But not just that, he is actually a very his mana cost is very flexible because he can get to as cheap as 5 or get to as expensive as 10 mana. Like if you are missing a color, you can pay 2 other mana instead. If you wish, right? Like colorless mana. So this is one of like I think this is like the only Wooburg commander. I mean, that is excluding Wooburg commander by text. Like stuff like basically these commanders that have Wooburg in their rules text. That I'm not counting them, but I mean, but Wooburg by mana cost, he's one of the few commanders that actually work well with Soul Ring. Like the others being Dragon and Dragon and I don't know. I don't. Yeah. But Reaper King is very good because he's a Scarecrow Lord and starts destroying stuff, even lands when you bring in the Scarecrow. So you can just play normal Scarecrows plus put in some shapeshifters of your choice, Changeling, copycats, and just the occasional I don't know. What was that? What was that? 4 mana free. Oh, Mistform Ultimus. Uh, yeah, that's good. Let's just go into the number 2, and it is King Makar, the Gold Curse. 4 mana 2/3 legendary human. I think Noble just got added as a type line. Yeah. Uh, with Inspired, whenever he gets untapped, you may exile a creature, and if you do, create an artifact named Gold onto battlefield, which allows you to sacrifice it to add 1 mana of any color to mana pool. I mean, if you play him as a commander, you can only go with mono black, but he's actually very good if you put him with stuff that allow him to tap, and also an additional stuff that allow him to untap. So you can just tap, untap, and just start getting just gilding, basically like 4 mana guild on a stick, and that's considering guild is already 4 mana on itself. So this is actually the superior guild. And why is he only rare? I don't know. I mean, and apparently, I think it's. I mean, and what's really weird is that he's not popular among the commander community. I only played against one King Makar deck once, and that was it. Like, and he's actually a good card nonetheless. And they don't even use King Makar inside of the deck. Because if I had a King Makar myself, then I could just put him in my Scarab God deck because. Oh wait a minute, Scarab God takes stuff from the graveyard. Actually, I mean it would be great because it would be great for Scarab God because you're accumulating mana to counter more stuff, or even just uh, being able to bring in your Platinum Empyrean, so which is an 8 mana card. So that's why King Makar is actually good because it gets rid of your biggest threats and grants you mana for it. Very good. Oh, it's actually better than Treasure because it doesn't require you to tap it. Treasure requires you to tap it, just like the Ethereum cell. Anyways, he's not the best king card. There is one better king, and that king is Kenrith, the Returned King, the commander everyone likes. 5 mana, 5/5 legendary human noble, which allows you to pay 1 red to give everything trample and haste until end of turn. Not just years, you can actually use it also the opponent stuff. So if you want, you can actually help them by just you can help your opponents attack other opponents if you just give them haste and trample. I mean, but do it during combat. Just don't give them haste. Just give them trample because this may backfire. You know, if you give them haste and then they turn up attacking you, pay 2 mana to put +1 on counter target creature. Yeah, that's self-explanatory. Pay 3 mana to make anyone gain 5 life. That's good. You can gain 5 life for yourself, or just put stuff like Tainted Remedy to make opponents lose 5 life. Pay for mana to make anyone draw a card. You can use it on yourself to just draw 1 card, or if you have Consecrated Sphinx, make an opponent draw, so then you draw 2. Or 5 mana to put a creature from a graveyard onto battlefield under its owner's control. This is rarely used on opponent stuff, but typically used on your own stuff. If they're playing Fate and Fate dies, then you can make it. Then you can make Fate backfire on them by bringing her back, and then just instantly kill them because of that. Or just bring in your best stuff. Also, he is the buy a bots promo. So if you're just looking around, just opening boosters to try and get him in for a Valdrain, that's not going to work. Just buy the whole box and then you'll get him in foil variant. But you can open him in a collector's booster because it includes 1 random card not in the main set, and Kenrith is not in the main set. So you can actually get Kenrith from the collector's booster in non-foil variant, which is actually better than the foil variant, because the non-foil variant is actually more expensive than the foil variant due to it actually being rarer. The foil variant is obtained through buying the whole bots, whilst the non-foil variant can only be opened from those packs. So let's just go in to the bonus card and the meme, and it is so, there are always those clumsy commander players that are using Coffin Queen, but actually they forget to not untap her on the untap step. So, what if you have like a very big card, a very big creature that you took from Coffin Queen, and you ended up untapping her by mistake? Oh, that creature's gone forever. Rest in peace. Yeah, but we to accompany that meme, we put a bonus silver bordered king card, 3 mana, 2/2 chicken a la king. Yes, there you see king. Bird with whenever a 6 is rolled on a 6-sided die, put +1 counter on each bird. Everyone's bird, not just yours. And you can tap an untapped bird you control to roll a 6-sided die. You can only roll dice when instructed to. So if you're playing just silver bordered and with multiplayer silver bordered and you're rolling dice, don't. If you're rolling dice to attack, don't, because you're only allowed to roll dice when instructed to. But he can make you roll dice by tapping birds, even him. Yeah, like now. So, Chicken a la King is just a bonus silver bordered card in the podcast. So, also, did you like the meme I just put at the end? I'll be including 1 meme podcast related at the end of each podcast in the bonus section. Or maybe I could just put it into a meme section instead. But yeah, congratulations. You've reached the end of the podcast. So why don't you like and subscribe and follow if you haven't already, share with friends. Stay tuned to my next videos, streams, and podcasts. Podcasts will be live at 4 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. CET every Tuesday. Yeah. So stay tuned to them. Watch my other videos too. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And bye.